Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Once Upon a Time Captain Hook podcast, episode 10. I know I said that last week's was episode 10. I forgot that we had a back-to-back episode. So that one was 9. This is 10. Episode 10. For episode 10, this was the winter finale. So just so you all know, this will be our last for a couple of months. The spring premiere is going to be March 2nd. So once that
Yeah.
comes back, we will return for more. My name is Lisa, aka You Brought Me Home on Tumblr, aka Captain Hood Podcast, and these are my friends.
Hi, I'm Daniela, and I'm Queen Swan 20 on Tumblr.
I'm Pip. I'm Pirate Hero Killian on Tumblr and Pirate Hero Jones on Twitter.
I'm Ro, and I am Ginny Jinx and Handshot Rita First on Tumblr.
Yep. Ro is the only person in this Tumblr place that has the longest URL and always will be.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, seemed like a good idea at the time.
I know, but I love it.
So, I have 3 questions. 2 of them are more for like, what do we think is going to happen in the spring? So I'll leave that for last. One, once again, from another anonymous person expressing more negativity about why are they fighting to keep the show on the air because the ratings are down to 0.4, blah, blah, blah. Look, I feel like we've said what we're going to say about this issue. If you want to keep sending me the stuff, that's fine, but I'm just not going to address it anymore because we've said what we felt we needed to say on this issue over the last couple of weeks, and I feel like we can give you our opinions till we're blue in the face, but it's just not going to motivate any of you to change your minds. So all I can say is if you don't like it, don't watch it. If it's causing you this much grief, turn channel. I mean, I don't know what else to say anymore.
I want to clarify something that seems to be confusing a lot of people, and I've seen it around different places. These episodes were bought and paid for in advance, so they're not just going to cut it halfway through the season like people want them to. Like, oh, the first half of the season didn't do well, so that means that they're just going to cancel it halfway through. No, they already paid for the other 10 episodes of the season, so obviously they're going to be doing that because they're filming them now. They're not going to just go out and cancel the show halfway through. You have to get through the second half of the season before we decide what's going to happen with the show. So people need to realize that it's not just going to stop, because I saw a response to I think it was TV Line's post about the show coming back in March, and someone's like, well, they're really going to try and keep pushing the show, and it's just like, they're not trying to push it. They already told us before the season even started that there was going to be 20 episodes. So it's not like
Only
it's
20?
I think it's 20. I think is it 20 or 22?
22.
It's 22. Okay, sorry. So it's 22 episodes, but you get the point. It's not just something that they're just going to stop in the middle and be like, "Oh, we're done." That's it. They've already paid for these episodes. That's it. They're done. Meaning they're making them. So
They're even casting people for this second part, for all we know. So they're gonna cancel it like half of a season just because of people that are not gonna watch it. Because the ratings are going to be bull.
All I'm going to say is negativity done. We've hashed this out. Yep. I've made my own personal posts and videos about it before, and I'm no longer going to use the podcast as a forum to deal with the negativity within the fandom. Like I said, if you guys got issues with it and you don't want to watch it anymore, then don't watch it anymore. Turn the channel, watch something else. It does you no good to bitch about it on social media because nothing's going to change. And if you only like it for Night Rook or Hook, well, fine, then just watch the Night Rook or Hook scenes and then fast forward through everything else. I generally don't care anymore. Honest to God.
Look, and also if there's some people like myself and in here in the podcast who are gonna watch this, don't attack us on social media just because you don't agree with us. Okay, we want to watch it. We're not gonna change our minds. If you don't like it, there's the door. Okay, nobody's gonna be good cop, bad cop here.
Okay, next message, and I was actually kind of shocked at this one because this person that sent me this is an old hat in this forum since day one. So I was like, oh my god. This is from Obis Girl, who has been a part of the Captain Swamp fandom since forever, the old days. She has not posted in a long time, so I was really surprised to get this. Hello, Lisa and everyone. I just wanted to say, negativity aside, I'm actually enjoying the current season. There's still very minor things I have questions about, mostly plot stuff, but I'm liking this new Captain Hook, and I adore the story and what's coming for him. I really like this new iteration of Captain Hook, and I just love his relationship with his daughter Alice. I was worried for a time about how Jen's departure from the show would be dealt with, but after 7-2, I'm okay. CS have their happy ending, a baby on the way, and wrapping up that storyline and bringing on this new Hook makes it possible for me to enjoy the story going forward because there are no loose ends. True, the series had a slow beginning, but the writing is getting really good now. I also wanted to say that I think you girls in row are doing a fantastic job with this podcast, and I hope there's so much negativity it feels like over everything that fans are missing out on the story. What sort of things would you like to see happen in the second half of the season? Take care, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. It's always nice to hear some positive. It's always nice to hear some positive energy coming our way with with all the crap that's going on in the fandom. But we will address our expectations for the spring back calf towards the end of the podcast. Right now, we're going to keep it on what happened in episode 10. So this episode was pretty massive. It was whiplash fast. There was a lot of we went from having a lot of character development to bing bang boom action. We got a lot of answers to questions that we've been having, and it kind of tied up what we saw at the end of season 6 with Henry trying to outrun this curse. Now we understand what was going on in that last scene at the end of season 6. It all kind of tied together. But at the same time, they've opened up a whole new bevy of about 5,000 more questions. So,
please keep it down.
So,
to keep it down.
Does anybody have any opening thoughts first?
I love the episode. It did, when the episode first started, it did seem it was going a little bit fast, but once we got to once it started going, I kind of realized why they were doing that. They kind of realized we have to tell them how this curse happened, and the only way we're going to do that is kind of to drop in little quick moments of storyline that was important to how this curse happened. And when we have a moment to slow things down, we'll go back and, fill in the holes that we're kind of leaving open here. But other than that, I thought the episode was really, really fantastic. I enjoyed the return of Zelena. I thought Rebecca Mader was great. The scenes with Killian and Rumple and Alice, fantastic, both in the Enchanted Forest and Hyperion Heights. Loved all of their scenes. And the confirmation of there's not a ship name for him yet, but Alice and Robin. There hasn't been a concrete ship name settled on, but I absolutely loved it in that little scene that we saw with them. I am already shipping them. You can tell that they're truly in love, and they have great chemistry between the actresses. So I really enjoyed all that, and just to finally have some answers to some of the questions we've had since the beginning of the season is really, really nice.
I thought when I started watching the season, I thought I was not gonna adjust it. I thought it was gonna be boring, but then little episode by episode, I start to like it. Really, I'm happy that my Captain Swan are safe and sound. They're gonna have their baby and all that stuff. They're happy ever after. I'm good with that. They're not separated, but I'm really liking this Wish Hook. I thought I was not gonna get used to him, but I like, and I super love his relationship with his daughter Alice. I'm shipping Henry and Cinderella all the way. Sorry, they're my third new ship, and I simply love. I'm starting to really like the romance between Alice and and Robin, even though I don't know how they met. We haven't seen that yet, but we're gonna see it soon in March. And I'm very excited to see what new stuff they're gonna have us in this new second part, because I really like this new reboot, and I'm really liking that Selena's now not so evil and wicked and nuts, and she's now more changed, and that's what love does to people. They change them, and I'm very glad. And also, finally, Rumple is not being a jerk off and being a hero and being a good person. That's what Belle, Bay, and Gideon wanted. I'm happy for that. And also, my green witch is back. Zelena is back. Thank you, God, she's back. No, there's never gonna be another girl who's wicked and funny as her in the show. Never. Mm-mm.
So, Ro, any opening thoughts for you?
Well, obviously this wasn't a single centric for one character. They had to do multiple stories for everybody because it was a finale. But I mean, I think that it opened up a lot more questions as to how these characters, how certain things are happen in those 8 years now. We did get answers, but we also have a lot more questions now, which I hope will be addressed. It's good that they got the how the curse was cast out of the way. They did that little bit of a flash forward to the end of that timeline, so now they're obviously going to go back and explain things a bit more. And I like some of these new developments, and it's good to see some new characters come, full circle and develop more. And it's also good to see some old characters come back. I mean, I'm happy to just take a break right now. I mean, I say that a lot. But I wouldn't say this season has been my favorite or even great compared to some of the others I've really loved. It's been good. And that's really good enough for me, considering I wasn't so keen on the idea of a season without Emma. But I think they've made it work, and they've made this new Hook someone that I want to watch, and that's all down to Colin, really.
Right. Well, I think that one of the biggest things that we got, other than Zelena's obviously dominating presence, was we finally got the answer to the question of who cast the curse this season. When Colin said that he saw that the writing for this season was better than all the others, at first I thought, you've got to be kidding, because without the core cast, you've got to be kidding. But when you really look at it and what they had to do, knowing that most of their core cast wasn't coming back and they really had to pull it out, they actually, other than some things that could have been improved upon, like the relationships, overall story, like the big picture story, is really good. Like, they really hunkered down and did it. And for all the times I've said that the show, I don't think it's dark enough, this time they got dirty dark. Like, I had thought that when they were going to the underworld that it was going to get nasty, but it didn't. I thought when Emma went dark Emma, that it was, when she went dark Swan, that it was going to get nasty dark, but it didn't. Finally, they've gone down that road, because this Gothel chick is nasty dark. I'm still not entirely sure what her motivation is, but I think this show did a fantastic job of keeping us on our toes, of keeping us wondering, because first we thought that it had to be Tremaine casting the curse to save her daughter's life. Then when we found out that Drusilla was awake, oh, it must be her because she wants revenge on her mother for ruining her life. But then when Gothel came into the picture, now we're like, oh, it's her, but we know she's trying to get the 8 witches, this coven of 8 together, but we still don't know the ultimate reason why. I don't know if all we know for sure is that she has designs of vengeance on a specific character. You can assume it's Tremaine, because Tremaine was the one that locked her in that tower until Hook showed up. But if it was just Tremaine, there's many other ways that she could have dealt with her. I think it's bigger than that. And then, of course, this is the ultimate answer to that question we will get in the back half, as well as answers to the backstory between Alice and how Zelena got her magic back, why she decided to leave Storybrooke and go to the Enchanted Forest in the first place. I'm assuming more backstory into what led up to Henry and Ella getting married, because I found that a little bit jarring. The whole, we went from them in the episode before this to, oh my God, they have a baby. It's like, where was the in between? You know, I was just starting to get into this relationship, and now, baby. That's more of tell, don't show. I don't like that. I want to see the things happening like they did with Captain Swan, like show it in real time. But because I'm just not feeling that epicness, especially when you fast forward so quick. But I'm guessing in the back half they're going to have more of those flashbacks to show us more of like how they decide, you know, how the relationship progressed and when they got married and all that good stuff.
Well, safe to say that Henry
we found out
to Ella, so okay.
Right, but we found out that the real person who cast the curse. I know that everyone's saying this, that it was Regina that cast it. Regina did not physically cast the curse. All she did was lend her blood to it. She cast the curse because Drusilla was the one that had it.
But it's the person that crushes the heart of the person they love most that casts the curse. Just like Snow cast the curse when she crushed David's heart.
Right, and then there was another question of, I actually saw this posted quite a few times. Oh, now we're rewriting the rules of Once Upon a Time Magic because apparently it doesn't take heart crushing to enact this curse anymore. Oh, no.
No, it does.
You have to understand that magic, actually, I like the way that they did this because this makes it more interesting. And there's a lot more to lose in this one. Because true love, kiss shit, that's easy. This was nasty.
I know.
I knew that whatever Drusilla did, it was enough to make Regina like.
And
it was enough to hurt her so badly that she couldn't physically tell her own son what was going on.
Yeah, and plus we got to remember we don't know what Drusilla might have done to tweak the curse, because when Rumple made the curse, or when Rumple got the curse, he added the True Love's Kiss breaks it because he needed the curse to be broken eventually.
Right.
Drusilla doesn't want the curse to be broken, so it might have been possible that she took that failsafe out completely.
People often think that there's no rhyme or reason to the Once Upon a Time magic, and there actually is. If you look at it, it actually is. It's very intricate.
Yeah, it is.
The way that Regina didn't create the curse, but the way that the original Dark Curse was laid out, there was no true love element in it to begin with. Like you said, Rumple added that in, which was the reason why it required the heart of the thing that you love most. That was the true love piece. Drusilla said that this was true love, this particular version of the Dark Curse. See, she took what Regina told her, and she said, oh, this Dark Curse is going to be good. But the true love kiss thing, that was too easy to break. I'm going to fix it and make it nasty. I'm going to make sure that they can't fix it. And even if they try, there's really going to be no way they can do it without somebody getting hurt. They're going to sacrifice and they're going to fucking lose. So she took that element out.
Mm-hmm.
That was why it did not require a heart being ripped, because the true love element was not there. She didn't give Regina a choice. She said, you either do this, you save everyone and you let your son die, or you save your son and you lose everybody. She really didn't give her a choice. And I'm like, oh my God, bitch, you nasty. That is like the nastiest. I mean, people thought that Regina's curse was bad. Regina's curse was Sunday school compared to what Drusilla came up with. But let's be honest, I don't think that Drusilla came up with that on her own. I'm pretty sure that it was mostly written, like, Drusilla gave Gothel the bare bones of it, and Gothel added all the other stuff.
And you got to remember the Dark Curse was originally created by the Black Fairy to begin with, so
Rumble's mommy.
Yep. So
that nastiness that's very much more in with how Gothel thinks.
And
so
And Rumple always had an obsession with true love, so it kind of makes sense that Regina's curse was a little bit more, watered down than what the original curse was.
Yeah. But I love this new curse because it's more darker, more complicated, but it gives you more to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say this. I mean, the villains are a lot more smart than previous seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. They have a lot more depth, too. It's still a little bit confusing because you're still trying to figure out exactly what the motivation is. Like, okay, now I know that Tremaine is not necessarily a bad person. One, for the fact that she actually helped them.
That moment when she stepped out, when Drizella's like, "What's happening?" And Tremaine's like, "Oh, I gave them my blood." I was like, "God damn, that's amazing." That was absolutely one of the greatest moments of the episode for me.
I think at Rapunzel's heart, she is not a bad person. You could see what she gave up for her family. Mm-hmm. She's just someone who has been through so much pain and so much loss and so much heartbreak that she's, like I said before, she feels like she's doing the right thing, she's doing the wrong thing, but for the right reasons. And let's be honest, she didn't give them her blood because she gave a shit about what would happen to them. She gave them her blood because she could not have Drizella casting the curse and getting in the way of her saving her daughter. Yeah. That was her reasoning behind it. I'm hoping, though, that now that they're in this well together, Drizella and Rapunzel, that maybe they'll be able to work out their issues. Because I know a lot of people think that Drizella is big bad. No. Drizella was an idiot who let herself be used by someone who's infinitely more powerful than her. That's why when she was acting surprised at the end for being screwed over, I was like, oh, hon, you're a fucking moron. Because when she gave her the wreath, thinking that it was going to take Anastasia's magic and give it to her, but it actually worked in reverse and it gave Drusilla's magic to, I was like, oh, hon, you're so fucking dumb. I think that Drusilla's just so desperate to make her mother feel pain that she doesn't realize what she's doing. She's just so caught up in it. She's a lot like what Killian was when he was, drowning in that anger and that black rage after losing Mila. You don't really think straight. You do stupid shit because you're in so much pain. And Rapunzel is the same way. You don't think straight. You do stupid shit. But I think once they have a chance to really sit down in this hole that they can't get out of and talk, I'm hoping maybe they might be able to, come to terms somehow. Because there has to be a reason why Drizella was acting the way she did when her mother came back. I mean, why was she being so hateful and so rude? Why was she being hopefully they can address some of those issues. Yeah. The only other problem I had with this episode was that I didn't like I said, I didn't like the pacing between Henry and Jacinda. I thought that was way too quick. But like you had said, that I know that in the spring half they're going to show a lot of that backstory. They had to set up all these. At first I thought that whoever edited this thing was on crack, because they seem to cut out so much important stuff. Like, why is Lena there? How did she get her magic back? All these things. I had to set up those questions. They answered a lot, but they had to set up more questions to be answered in the back half. I get that. Okay. So, what did you all think of Rumple seemingly, I know that most of the fandom who aren't Rumbellers or, can't stand Rumple because he's a jerk, but it really seems like, especially in this episode, he really, all that year spent with Belle really has changed him.
Yeah. I'm loving Rumple this season, and I was one of the people, I don't even, to the point where, let's see, in context, I don't even tag Rumple on posts at all. I don't have a tag for him because I don't like him. So I don't want him on my blog, easily found. But I've loved Rumple this season. I think you can actually see a change in him for once, and those years that he spent with Belle obviously did finally change him. And I found it, one of the things I'm really looking forward to, I hope they go into, obviously they're already going to go into in the next half of the season, but to see Rumple be the crocodile again. He's all scaly, he's all, he's obviously used his magic to the point where he reverted back to that creature. And Alice says that for what he sacrificed for me, I owe it to him to stay by his side. So it's clearly something that he did for her. And obviously Killian recognizes that because he had at least have some sort of trust and respect for Rumple now that wasn't there before. And this is a Killian that didn't have all the years of experience and story work with him. So clearly there's something that happened there that we don't know yet. And
whatever he gave up for her,
whatever he gave up,
pretty massive.
Exactly, and this is why I've talked since last night. I've been saying we might have found out who the Guardian actually is. It seems like it's Anastasia, but I'm thinking that it's another red herring. That she's not the Guardian; she's just another witch.
Maybe
because there's this connection between Rumple and Killian and Alice that they're still not going into full detail on, and I'm thinking that that the Anastasia thing is a subterfuge, that she's not actually the Guardian. Rumple thinks she's the Guardian, but she's
Anastasia
not.
passed the test with all the different blades.
You think she passed the test. That doesn't necessarily mean that she's the Guardian. I don't know. I could be completely wrong, but I got this feeling that they're trying really hard to make this all of a sudden he's found the Guardian so easily and it was Anastasia. I don't think so. And Alice keeps saying over and over again, it's right in front of you. The answer to your puzzle is right in front of you. She said it to Killian several times. And I think that's a hint that they're dropping, that it's not actually Anastasia, it's something to do with Alice. Because remember, when Rumple first came back from time looking for the Guardian, the first person he ran into was Alice Jones. So that's not a small detail. And that's why I think that that this is another red herring, that there's more to this than what they're showing us. And clearly there is something that Rumple did for her, and he's still protecting her. Why would Rumple give up his happy ending with Belle for the child of Killian Jones?
This is true, but like I said, I guess we are supposed to get those answers in the back half. So
yeah,
I'm interested to see just what that relationship connection might be.
I'm just putting it out there now that part of my theorizing and speculation for what's coming, based on what we learned last night, is that Anastasia might not actually be the Guardian. I'm just putting it out there now. So whether I'm right or wrong, I'm just putting it into the.
Well, when it comes to theories and headcanons, once upon a time, sometimes I'm right and sometimes I'm wrong. But generally I'm always wrong and end up being other stuff. So you're not alone, Pip.
And I just want to put out there, and this is. For me, this is a big deal because I've never particularly cared for the Zelena Wicked Witch character. But I just want to say props to Rebecca Mader, girlfriend, you stole the show. Like, you stole that shit hard. I didn't particularly care for her in the past because the Zelena character always felt to me very static, one-dimensional. And even when she had the baby at first, she didn't really seem to be developing. Like, she only developed a little bit right at the very end. But she was still, like, with all the attitude and shit. And I just felt like she had no purpose. Like, she wasn't going anywhere, especially in the Camelot arc. Like, she literally served no purpose other than to be annoying. So, when I heard that she was coming back, I'm like, oh, God, they're just trying to, insert more of the original cast in there just to appease fans. But what I saw last night really surprised me because even before she was cursed, she really seemed time and her relationship with her daughter has really changed her, like has made her the person that I think we all knew she was capable of being if she hadn't grown up with such a shitty life. Like she really changed, and I'm actually proud of her for it. She actually turned into a well-rounded character that has dimensions and feelings. And when I found out that her as Kelly and Ronnie were going to have an antagonistic relationship, I was like, oh God, not this shit again, because I didn't want to have to go down that same bullshit road that they always do with her. when Zelena, as Kelly explained, why she was upset that Ronnie had messed with her daughter and caused her daughter to fly off to some European country to backpack across the world. It's like, wow, her reasons actually do make sense. She has a reason to be pissed. It's not just her being jealous of some stupid thing. And they even took it a step further by showing that she did not hesitate. Neither time, not in the Enchanted Forest before the curse or in San Francisco after the curse, even though this is detrimental for her because she's about to get married. And this is not an Enchanted Forest guy. Adam and Eddie already said that this person was a regular Joe Schmo dude from our realm about who she actually is. And now she's going to have to deal with that. Even though she was carrying the wedding dress, which means to me that she's obviously getting married soon. She dropped everything without even a second thought because in her mind, her family came first. For Zelena to do that is a big change because most of the time she was very selfish. Mm-hmm. So I have to give props to everybody. I've seen so many character changes in this season, so much development. I wish we'd had this development in the past. But it's still good, though, to be able to see it now.
Yeah.
Well, just as an observation from the season 6 finale, I seem to recall her leading the evacuation of Oz like a boss. She had her whole Munchkin clique with her when she came to the Enchanted Forest, to Regina's castle. So, I mean, she was obviously concerned about her people, even despite everything she had been to them in the past. So, I don't know, maybe a lot has changed for her. Maybe she just wanted a quiet life, somewhere to raise her daughter that wasn't in Storybrooke.
She said she did in season 5. She said to Hades, she said, why can't we just live in Storybrooke and, be happy? That's all she wants. So I think in finding that, she finally found her good heart.
I'm very proud.
Because...
I'm very proud of her. She changed from the... I went back in the season 3, season 4, season 5, and half of season 6. I'd still like her, but no. In the past seasons, before season 6 and season 7, I didn't like Zelena. I didn't stand her ass. But then when season 6 came, I started liking her more. Besides that, she's a villain person. And now seeing her how she changed, raising her daughter. I just love her. She just changed from being the wicked witch who wanted revenge on her sister, wanted to destroy all happiness and being in all because she was abandoned by Cora and she didn't have an easy life. To this amazing woman who now not only cares for herself but for her family and for her friends, is willing to do anything to help them, and that's a lot. That's a lot.
Well, as I had said all of those years ago when Zelena first got pregnant, as a mom, I know what the unconditional love of a child, how that can change. And I always had this feeling that if she would just let it, that this child would ultimately be her second chance. And I was right. Now, I know that nobody wants to pin all their hopes on an innocent little baby, but obviously the unconditional, all Zelena ever really wanted was to be loved and accepted. Because she felt like everybody else had everything, and she had nothing, because she had a drunk of a father. Her mother, I think, loved her, but I mean, obviously she was probably badly abused by the drunk. And then once the mother dies, the father kicks her out the house. I mean, she was abandoned by her actual mother. I mean, she always felt like nobody cared. Regina and everyone else got everything that she never got. And people were always like, oh, she's so selfish. She just wants material things. I don't ever think she never wanted the dresses or the magic or the castle in the sky. That's not what she wanted. That's bullshit. What Zelena wanted was to be loved. She just wanted to be loved and accepted. Regina tried to give that to her, but Zelena wasn't ready for that yet. Because Regina's love always came with conditions. But her baby, that's unconditional love. period. So
Yeah.
having that, I think, is what she really needed. And then she was able to, by finding her good heart again through the love of her child, she was able to open herself up to other love, the familial love of her sister and Henry and everybody else. So, kudos to her, because, yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen a lot of character development on the show, and I'm happy for it. Very happy for it. There's a lot of other questions that we're going to get answered in the back half, like, what was Tremaine's real motivation behind helping them? Did they make peace with her? Is that why the 8 years between Lucy being born and then the curse being... I thought she was supposed to be 10, not 8. I'm confused.
I don't think so.
Were they cursed for 2 years?
Did they ever say that Lucy was 10?
Yeah, they said that Lucy was supposed to be the same age as Henry was when the original curse was cast.
I don't remember seeing that. Maybe I just missed that, but I don't know. Maybe they were cursed for 2 years. Maybe it took her 2 years to find him.
Well, apparently there's this whole backstory with Ronnie and Kelly that probably happened.
That's true. And we have all this story with Killian, with Rogers and Hyperion.
Yeah, we're gonna get the backstory about how he got cursed with the poison heart, and they got separated in the tower, and all these other things.
But yeah, I'm wondering if maybe it did take her 2 years to find him. Maybe that's why, or it took her, because remember she was obviously cursed too, because she was there when the curse hit. She was there with them when the curse hit. So she might have been cursed and woke up eventually, obviously.
All I can think is that after they froze Drusilla, that because Tremaine helped them, that they let her go.
Yeah.
With the promise that she wouldn't cause them any more trouble.
I think that might have been the agreement. That might have been why she helped them and why they didn't seem to be bothered that she was there. Like, she just agreed that, It also could be that Lucy was born, so that might have also had a factor in it that, because Tremaine, Rapunzel / is a mother too, so maybe that kind of softened her towards... Because Tremaine said to Jacinda in last episode that the reason why she's always been kind of hard on Jacinda is because Jacinda gave up Lucy.
Which is something Rapunzel would never, ever, 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 ever do.
Exactly. So there might have been the bad blood wasn't necessarily from, the fact that she was her stepdaughter or whatever, like it is in the original story or whatever. It might just be because she wasn't the mother that she expected Ella to be to Lucy. And maybe because Tremaine in the Hyperion Heights had her memories, and in that world, Jacinda gave up Lucy to her. So that might have been where the bad blood came from. So it might not have been...
So in the way that this curse worked on Tremaine is that she remembered everything from her past life, but it was changed in that she was made to believe that she cast the curse in order to get Anastasia, to save Anastasia's life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So because it seemed like in present day, once Anastasia was awake, all of that anger she had in her just kind of went poop and it faded away. Yeah. And she was willing to let Rumple Rumple do the tests and all that stuff, and yeah. So
because it wasn't Rapunzel that walked away from her daughter.
Nope.
Drusilla walked away from her.
Yeah.
For some unknown reason, which I'm sure we'll figure out later. The other big question is, who is this Coven of 8? We know that Gothel is a member. We know that Gothel wants Anastasia to be a member. We know that Zelena was invited but turned it down. I don't know if Regina was. I'd like to think if Regina was, she would already have known about them, because when Zelena told her about it, she had no idea who these people were. So
I'm wondering if Robin could be, if
Adam and Eddie had said in one of their interviews that one of the witches is going to be taken from the Haunted Mansion.
Yep.
ride in Disneyland. Is that the one with the magic ball, the floating head?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's her.
Never been on that ride before, so I don't know.
I've also seen, and I had considered it too, that maybe Facilier is involved too, because they just said it was a coven of witches, but she said women, didn't she?
Yes, women.
Okay, specifically
What
say women.
about
That's right.
Witch Doctor?
Yeah, but I don't think that Gossel particularly has much respect for men, so I don't think she'd want to be dealing with dudes.
Yeah.
I still don't know exactly what her overall motivation is, other than vengeance on somebody or taking over the world. I don't even know.
I heard that these 8 witches that we didn't see who they are villains of the same villain, no, but other versions of them, something like that.
I don't know. It's really hard to say at this point who they could be because they very specifically didn't show them, which makes me think that at least some of them are very important characters.
Like a French Cruella,
Yeah, that's possible because they kind of sort of touched on that in the very first episode where younger Henry's told Regina that there was different versions of characters, and obviously they're not going to go into the bigger characters. They already said they're not going to go into another Snow White or another Charming or anything, but it's possible it could be like Ursula could come back in some form, or Cruella.
maybe it's an Irish Ursula, an Irish little Ariel, Irish Eric.
Something like that. I don't know.
I was a little irritated with the fact that, okay, you can wake Zelena up, but you're still keeping Hook, Rogers, and Tilly cursed. Oh my god, I'm irritated. Would you just wake them up already? Because
clearly a big reason for that, and that's coming in the second half of the season. There's a reason why they haven't woken him up yet.
Well, according to Adam and Eddie's interview, they said that Weaver has the monumental task of getting Rogers and Alice to work with him while not being able to tell them the whole story. He can give them like the generalistics of it, but he can't give them the real details because it's not something that they're going to believe.
But wait a minute, Colin said that they're going to wake up.
I'm hoping that it'll be in episode 11 when they come back. That it'll be quick.
I'm wondering. I don't know. It might be when they come back. But Colin did say in that interview a couple weeks ago, was it that they were gonna wake up and they were gonna remember who they were.
But you know what? I'm gonna say this. All the awards to Andrew J. West last night. All the motherfucking awards because. Oh my god. I know that a lot of the fandom has been like, ugh, they're just retreading season 1. It's the same shit over and over. And I knew that when Lucy collapsed, that they were probably going to try and do some, forehead true love's kiss thing. And at first I was like, oh god, this is just a repeat of the same shit that Emma did with Henry in season 1. The way that they did it didn't work, obviously, because Drusilla had said that her curse was true love proof. It's based on belief, not on love. The desperate, destroyed look on Henry's face. Because he finally came around to believing what she said, and he wanted desperately to bring her back. And he thought that maybe she was right, he could do this and kiss her and wake her up. And I was like, please let this work, please let this work, please let this work. And then it didn't work, and he was just destroyed. I was like, oh my god, this is wrong. I was so upset. I was like, this is just wrong. The feels.
But also the twist of the curse is that if Henry and Ella while cursed share true love's kiss, Henry dies. If the curse isn't broken or something like that, Lucy dies. It's like that's like a turntables kind of twist.
Right, so, according to Adam and Eddie, Regina and Zelena have to find a third way. Because if they break the curse, Henry dies, because he's been poisoned. If they don't break it, Lucy dies.
Yes.
I mean, this show is gone nasty dark. This is like nasty dark.
Yeah. Well, and to think that Game of Thrones was the only one who got nasty dark, and now this happens.
Well, they weren't the only ones, but
But it's a good dark though. This is probably the best storyline I've seen since freaking Peter Pan, and that's saying a lot.
Wow.
yeah, it's the writing this season, the way they've woven the story together is really solid, and it really started to click into place in the last like 4 episodes. It really finally started to click into place, and you finally can go back and watch the earlier episodes and go, oh, okay, I see what y'all were doing that wasn't quite making sense when we first started. And now it's kind of, you can go back and go, yes, you guys they were really good with this one.
I have to commend them for the character development, for finally landing an LGBT couple that makes sense and isn't contrived, and it actually make it that you really ship them and really care about them and want them to be happy, and that all of the characters seem so well rounded and dynamic and just and like perfect. I mean, well, with some exceptions.
Yeah.
Jacinda.
Yeah. I'm still not connected to that character in any form, so there's not much there for me. But that's personal. It's personal opinion. If people love her, that's fine with me. But it's not a character that I'm really.
Look for me, when Snow was cursing, the first curse was Mary Margaret. I didn't like her. When the curse broke and she became Snow White, I liked her. With Jacinda as Ella's curse person, I'm not connected more. I'm more connected to Ella.
I don't like either of them. I really just don't. I don't like her as Ella. I don't like her as Jacinda. I'm not connecting to the character in any way whatsoever.
I think I find Ella a little more tolerable than Jacinda, but some characters work with other characters okay enough, and I think Jacinda is better with Lucy, the mother-daughter relationship, and also the roommate thing with
with Sabine / Tiana. I agree. I think I agree with you there. I think she works best with those two. Her character kind of builds off of that. But as a standalone character, I don't think she's strong in terms of comparison to some of the other newer characters.
I really want to see more of Jack. Like, we always see him and he's in the background when he's in his current persona, Nick. I want to see more of him because I really liked him when he was playing Jack. Nathan was playing Jackson in the original. And I really want to see more of Jack from the Beanstalk because this one is better than the female version who could have been Charming's sister brother's wife if James hadn't abandoned Jacqueline to die in the Beanstalk thing in season 1. So I really want to see how more of Nathan playing Jack, to see who he is, to see who's gonna be his true love, who his friendship with Henry, which is awesome, but it's never gonna be topping off Captain Charming. I'm sorry, that's true.
I think in the back half we're going to get a lot of those questions answered. We're going to get a lot of that backstory, how the relationship developed between Ella and Henry. We might get some stuff about Henry's adventures when he first got there, how it was that this relationship developed between Alice and Rumpelstiltskin, and how they're connected, and what the sacrifice was that he made for her. Yeah. How she how she escaped from the tower, how Hook got poisoned heart, all of this stuff. We're going to get all of this stuff. Yep. And speaking of that, now we're going to go to the other questions. This from Hooked on Killing for Life 87. Do you think that maybe Dr. Facilier might be a key to making sure Henry won't die when the curse does break, or do you think it will be something else? Who do you think is the guardian? We kind of already discussed this guardian thing. I know some of us think it's Anastasia, some of us think it's somebody else.
Alice.
Maybe.
I'm still settled on Alice, but
I think that's something that we'll just have to wait and see. But as for Facilier, I know from the very little that we saw in Gianna's backstory, he seemed to be kind of more out for himself. But at the same time, we've seen some filming photos that he's obviously the one that's involved with Regina. I don't know how the hell they managed to set this shit up, but okay. Don't ooh it. You don't know what you don't know what the storyline is.
Exactly.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Look, whoever is her neutral of interest, I don't care if it's black or white, if it's a guy or a girl, I don't care. As long as she's happy, she's happy. But I just don't see what, like, Facile doesn't convince me much.
But
well, we don't know what his curse personality is, but what we do know, and this show has done a really great job of setting it up over the years, is this whole idea of we are both. That vestiges of their cursed personality translate over onto who they really are. I know that in the past, Facile seemed only to be out for himself, but for all we know, the curse.
Didn't he mention though? If I recall correctly from the one episode he was in, this is the one that was airing when I was in Burbank, so I was kind of more focused on what was happening the next day instead of the episode directly. But didn't he mention that he was finally free? Like when Tiana did what she did and she, whatever, he mentioned to her that he finally free from the spirit world that he'd been trapped in?
No, he was trapped outside of it. Like he didn't have access.
That's what
he didn't have access to his magic anymore. He could only all he could really do was read the bones. He had he was trapped. He was unable to access his magic. But when she did what she did and she got him that stone out of the necklace, he was able to reaccess his magic. So he was saying he was free, meaning he was free from his exile.
Yeah, okay, I was remembering it wrong then. All right.
Does this mean we're gonna get Dr. Facile's backstory in the second half of this?
Well, we're definitely getting Tiana story because Naveen is coming. We know that, and so obviously Facile has connections to more than just Tiana. So I'm guessing he's going to be a kind of because they said they're bringing in new characters for the second half that we haven't quite seen yet, and I feel like obviously Facile is one of them that we're going to see. So I feel like we're going to definitely get story on him, especially if he is connected to Regina somehow.
I'm crossing my fingers that Naveen is played by Michael Malarkey from Vampire Diaries. Please.
Naveen is supposed to be back.
I'm just saying he's an option, but he's perfect for the role. I just seen Michael Malarkey playing the role because he gives me that Naveen look. When I see
I'm going to be really hesitant with whatever person that they cast because I really hard ship Sabine with Rogers, hard.
With Rogers? I think I think they wanted to go there, but they decided against that one. So.
But it seems obvious that they're just going to be friends at this point.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks, but right now Rogers' storyline is focused on Alice. And it's really not necessary for him to worry about having a, other lover. But whatever Facilia's curse persona is, it could very easily have changed him enough to the point where, even after he wakes up, he might be more amenable. And if he does care about Regina, because that, the feelings he has for her will still be there. So if he does love her and does care about her, he's going to want to do whatever he has to do to help her. I mean, no one can say for sure. We don't know. We haven't gotten that far yet. But yeah, I do think that Facile, knowing his magical background, he would probably have some part to play.
I mean, from the photos we got for the mid-season premiere in March, because we got a handful of photos of them, the place that it looks like where Killian and Zelena and Robin are looks like his hut. I mentioned this on Twitter. It looked like Facilia's place.
And Facilia is less about magic and more about voodoo magic is at its deepest roots about medicine, not just spirits, but potions and
that makes sense because they said that it was connected to someone with the haunted mansion. So if it's about a spirit connection, and he's connected to the spirit world. That makes a lot more okay.
So if they could if they could convince him to develop some sort of antidote to the poison.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just that type that has that skill set that could do that.
Yep.
But just getting back to the episode, I really liked that Tiana is queen now.
Yes.
Queen
I like her dress.
Tiana.
But that also makes you realize that something had to happen to her mother. So,
Or she abdicated.
Not necessarily. She might just have said, "Well, my time has passed.
That's true.
I'm hand it off to you." You know?
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I guess
that was the reason why she wanted to marry her off to a prince, because she wanted her to take over.
Yeah.
The throne.
So the resistance was a success, obviously.
Yeah, I think after they dealt with Drusilla, I'm thinking they came to terms with her and said, you leave us alone, we'll leave you alone. Maybe we'll even help you out if you just back your shit up. Back off. We might help you out. Because it seemed like for those 8 years, everything was peaceful and prosperous, and everyone was so deliriously happy. My teeth.
Well, no, because obviously Hook and Alice are still cursed.
Right.
So
yeah, they're still cursed, but. I mean, everybody else was so happy it looked like the end of a Disney film.
Yeah.
Ironically enough.
Yeah. I thought when Gothel appeared in Lucy's birthday, she was gonna pull a Regina. Like when Regina appeared in Snowing's wedding in the first episode, in the flashbacks, she's gonna do like that.
She kind of sort of did, because nothing happened then. It happened later. So it was I think it was a sort of allusion to that.
Did you guys get that vibe of it?
Yeah, I think that was intentional. I think that's exactly what they were going for. Is you were trying to get that. They were trying to bring back that sort of vibe that you got when Regina crashed Snowing's wedding. This is Gothel crashing Lucy's birthday party, because nothing actually happened at the birthday party. It didn't happen till later. Just like with the wedding, Regina was just warning them about what was coming, and then it happened later.
Also, Lucy's wedding dress looks exactly like the wedding Lucy's birthday dress looks exactly like Ariel's daughter's birthday dress in the anime movie, the second part of Little Mermaid. Somebody spot that up, and I was like, I looked at the picture from Melody, and I looked at Lucy with her birthday dress, and it looks exactly the same. But I really like the season finale. It gave me a lot of questions: who did the curse or who did what? But I'm really saying this. I'm glad that Zelena's back. I'm glad. I'm glad that we're having an LGTB relationship. That, no offense to the Ruby Slippers, but this one is solid. It's not rushed. We're gonna find in the second part how these two met and how these two fell in love in a very not too rushed moment. That's what I like about it. It's like these relationships are doing exactly what they did with Captain Sun and Snowy. They're doing it little by little, process by process, not rush. After they first meet, they're in love, true love kiss.
I think it's similar in the way the Snowing was, because you started the series knowing that Snow and Charming were going to be together, but you just had to build up their story to it. Alice and Robin started the exact same way. Killian says that they're true love, so we know that they're true love. So we just got to see how they got to that point.
And what I really like about this whole storyline is, I remember reading another comment that someone said, who was really happy about the way that it turned out, that she was happy that they weren't going to have some sort of coming out type episode where Alice would have to reveal that she liked girls, whatever. I'm like, you're missing the point. This is the Enchanted Forest. Their whole, their ideals, their ideology, how they think about stuff like that, this is not something they would even consider. And that's really great to know that in that realm, in those realms, in the realms of story, the fact that she has a relationship with a girl, nobody gives a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Only in our realm would it be such a big deal, but in their realms, no one would even think twice about it. It's just another relationship.
It's like well, Adam and Eddie said it back when the season started, back before the season started, and then Rose reiterated it last night in the interview that they put out, that love is love. That's just it. It shouldn't be like some special big, to do that, Alice likes girls. That's just how it is. And
but when I thought that like Ruby Robin was bisexual. But
Ruby.
Ruby's
Oh,
bisexual.
you're talking about Ruby? Yeah, she probably is because she had a thing for Peter way back when, so she's probably bisexual. And there's nothing to say that Alice, and Robin aren't either. I mean, no one's going to delve that far into what their sexual whatever is, because like we were saying, in that realm, nobody gives a shit. Like, nobody cares about whether you're trans or gay or lesbian or bi or queer or whatever. They don't have those labels because they don't care. Like, it's just love is love. I mean,
that's how the world should be, and that's how the real world should be.
Yeah,
Why
unfortunately.
That's would be awesome. That's world peace right there. World peace.
It's just like in the Enchanted Forest. Obviously, they don't have issues with race because they have a black queen. They have like a very diverse. I know that people have complained that the show is not diverse enough. That there aren't enough people of color. But I mean, we now have
a Latina.
We have a Latina. We have a black person.
Too.
And it's shown that in the Enchanted Forest, like, they don't have those labels. Those labels don't exist over there.
Oh, thank God. That's awesome. Can we move there so we can live a life where I'm pre-judged, please?
Okay.
But just into regards to the LGBT, I mean, I don't even have a ship name for it, but Alice and Robin.
Bunny
I'm interested.
Sorry, that's mine.
I'm interested in their backstory, how they met, but also in the present timeline. I really hope Robin comes back from Phuket so they can get back together.
She was, I don't know, but I feel like, no, she's definitely coming. She got to be coming back because they kind of, I think I saw Rose comment about them both in both worlds. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But
they got to get back together because Alice never seems to get a break. She's separated from her father. She grew up in a prison. Her mom is pure evil, like doesn't even care about her. And just give this girl a break. Jesus.
And somebody pointed out on Tumblr last night that Alice went into the curse thinking that she was going to remember, at least be with her father, that she was going to be with Killian, that they were going to still be father and daughter, and they weren't because, oh my God, he gave away the white elephant. Yes, I was just like, I went my man, Killian Jones, because and what's so great is now people that have all season been saying, oh, he's nothing like the original Killian, he's a fake cook and all this stuff. Now they've had a moment where they're going, wait, shit, we might have been wrong about this guy. And of course, all the rest of us are like, no, really? Because obviously.
This argument is so old and so fucking tired. I am so fucking tired of listening to these people saying that he's a bad person, he wouldn't sacrifice nothing for nobody, that he doesn't give a shit about anybody. I'm like, how much more does this man have to sacrifice before you give him credit where credit is due? He took that gift from Rumple so that he would be able to remember that Alice was his daughter. And at the first moment when he saw that someone else was going to lose their child, he gave up the only chance he had to remember her, to give it to Ella so she would remember Lucy. Yep. I mean, what else does this man have to sacrifice? What else does he have to do?
That's the thing, though. I think last night it kind of was a light bulb moment for people that weren't seeing what the rest of us were seeing. They were kind of like, oh, wait a minute. Because this was the first one. I mean, because think about it, in a sort of way, the other ones, he was kind of like, it wasn't really his sort of decision to make. He did make the decision, but when he gave up his opportunity to go and find Alice, when he chose Emma and the original Killian's child over, his own life, and then he had he either stayed with Alice or she was gonna die. He was kind of like in a rock and a hard place. This was the first one where Killian had the opportunity to keep something for himself that wasn't gonna hurt anybody.
But these people that hate on him are the same ones. Half of them are ones that don't like him because he's not our Killian, and then the other half are the ones that don't like Killian Jones, period. Yeah. No matter what version is, and still think that our version, our Captain Swan one, their relationship is bullshit, and all he wants to do is get in her pants. Well, he already got in her fucking pants because they're about to have a baby, but they're still married and blissfully happy. So fuck you all, It's like
you want to know? You don't want to know what I just found out by another Captain Swanner here in Twitter that some Rumbeller wrote a fanfic where Rumble's relationship is romantic and beautiful and pure, and Captain Swan is abusive, toxic.
Hey, I mean, let's not criticize fan fiction here. That's if they're doing it in their own place, let them do it. We might not agree with it, but that's as long as they're not tagging, Captain Swan in it like the Swan Queen fandom does, then we're cool. Let them do.
It's just this negativity doesn't even feel like a factor to me because it has no effect on the story. These people can rant and rave all they want. I mean, it won't change anything. So I just try my best to ignore them and stick with positive people
Exactly.
And also
that moment
was not. Some people in Twitter and Tumblr said, I don't know where I heard it, that Wish Hook wanted to kill Killian so he can Wish Hook could replace Killian to rape Emma and all that stuff, and that's not true.
But the thing, that moment when I got the most emotional was when he gave up that opportunity, when that was a purely selfless act that he had right there, which he's had in the past, but it was just like, oh my God, now things make sense. The reason he kind of did something that set things into motion, because Lucy being with Jacinda probably kind of helped push along Lucy starting at least remembering who she was, or it kind of kicked things off. So he kind of was an integral part of that, because Lucy needed to be with her mother to kind of sort of keep that belief alive in her.
Yeah, well, It's just like Killian Prime. Emma said, you can join us and be a part of something, and that's what he did. It wasn't just for Emma, he was actually a part of that family. And with this Hook now, he's been with these people for 8 years. He found Alice very early on, but these people are his friends. Mm-hmm. He's staying with them, despite not being able to be with his daughter. So obviously, Ella and Henry and all that, they mean something to him.
Mm-hmm. It's just, I was so proud of him. Another one of those moments where I'm just so proud of this character. And of course, Colin is just so brilliant as every version of the character. So
I would have been awesome if Alice did have magic or something, because it would be cool to have a little twist or spoil about that.
She still might. We don't know.
Maybe.
So now we're winding down. Does anybody have any final thoughts before we call it a day?
I'm sad that it's hiatus time again. It feels like we just started and we're already, into the winter hiatus, and we have to wait 75 days, because of course I have a countdown. We have to wait 75 days until it comes back, and it's just a long period of time between now and then. And I was really I've enjoyed this season very much so far, and I'm looking forward to what's coming, especially in regards to, Killian, because it seems like it's going to be some really good stuff that we're about to get when the seasons come back. So yeah.
Well, I'm gonna do a little podcast myself just to put the spoilers for 7B in the end of February. If I have time, I'm gonna put it on my YouTube channel. So just to give a little comments or so, and if you guys want to join me or not, it will be awesome.
My heart just breaks for Night Rook. I mean, on top of needing to remember in Hyperion Heights, they also need to get Alice and Robin back together, and Gothel needs to die.
Yes. I want Regina or Selena to bitch slap her.
Oh, the
Yeah.
person that the only I think the people that really need to that needs to do Gothelin are either Killian or Alice.
Or
I
just
think I
Mm.
think they're at the top of the list of the people that absolutely deserve to just end
Poor
her.
Henry.
Henry, well, no, because no. No, I think that Killian and Alice are top of the list of people that deserve the most to
yeah.
absolutely undo Gothel's very existence.
Okay, final thoughts.
Mm.
I thought this was one of the strongest mid-season, and I can safely say this because over the last couple of years, most of the mid-season finales past, I want to say
No, because
season five
season five was absolutely amazing.
was
Swan
definitely,
Song is one
yes,
of the best mid-season finales
yes.
they've ever had on the show. So
But we have had a couple of mid-season finales, other than five, that were relatively weak. So it was really great to see them kind of push back and show us what we know they're capable of. The performances were strong. The action was really good. It was whiplash pace to the point where I had like 5,000 questions for every scene going, what in the, this is once upon a, what the fuck is going on, because it was so crazy. But everybody was stellar. They did a bang up job. The characters were well rounded. They were emotional. You felt their pain when they were feeling pain. You felt their joy when they were feeling joy. You felt desperate and destroyed when they felt it. So I mean, they did a really great job being able to draw us really into the story and get us to the point where we're really excited
Yeah.
about wanting the show to come back and seeing where it's going next. It started off slow, but now they're like really starting to barrel into it, which is good. I hope that they don't. I hope that the show can strike the right balance between the character development and the action. If they can keep the balance they've got going now, I think they should be fine. And
Well,
I love that they've decided to do dark, because I think the show can be really good when it goes dark if they do it the right way. And this time they did it the really right way. The show has had a succession of really weak bad guys, and they finally came up with one badass bitch. I mean, I have not seen a villain this good since Pan, and she's almost worse than Pan because you still don't know motivation truly is. She's like a bag of mystery, and you're constantly trying to figure her out. Overall, the episode was really good.
Yeah.
my final
With
thought. Oh, sorry, sorry. Roll, you
okay.
go first.
No, alphabetical.
Well, I thought this second half. I came to this season intrigued, ready to adjust to it. I thought it was gonna be boring. I thought I wasn't gonna. I thought it was gonna. I thought it was not gonna be what I wanted. But little by little, I start to like it. I'm really liked it. I like the whole friendship between Tiana and Ella. When they were cursed and when they're not cursed. And I really like Lucy Allison Fernandez. Is a She's a little great actress. She's very sweet, and I hope to see more of Lucy after she wakes up. And I'm still not over the death of Belle. It still makes me cry even when I watched the scene for the third time last week. And I'm glad that my Captain Swan is okay. I'm loving Nightbrook forever, and yes, I ship Ella and Henry, and and yes, now I ship Robin and Alice. I want to see more of their story, how they met, how they fell in love in the second half. And I really like this mid with season finale. It gave me a lot of answers. It gave a comeback of my major wicked queen comeback in a very funny way. And I'm very excited to see the second half. What's gonna happen? All the questions being answered, and just enjoy it. And for all of you guys who are gonna miss us, I'm gonna do a podcast on my channel and in the end of February to just to let you guys know on the spoilers for this second half, so you guys can so you can get a little juicing up and find out, theorize. You can like get so you guys can count down funner to make the countdown even funner. Okay.
Ro?
Well, like I was saying, in previous seasons, they've tried to keep the balance between the regular cast and the new characters that were supporting roles. But with this, the new characters, they've made it work so well because they've built them up gradually. At first, they were just in the background, but then the more you learn about them, the more interesting they become. And we were just told that these people would be recurring, but they've become just as integral to this part of the season
Mm-hmm.
as the main cast are. And I really hope they stick it out for the rest of it, because I'd hate to see like any of them leave like in the middle. They have to see this through the end.
Yeah.
I just want
Props
to
for the new
I just want to
props
give
for the
props.
newbies.
I want to give all the awards to Colin, Bobby, Bex, Lana for sticking with the show, knowing that it was not going to be easy to keep carrying this when like half of the cast were gone. It could not have been easy having to keep the show together with all of these changes, but they stuck it out and they have given us some of their best performances to date. I also want to give props to Andrew J. West, Nikia Cox, Danya Ramirez, Adelaide Kane, Gabrielle Anwar, Emma
Rose.
Booth, Rose Reynolds, all of these people that have come into an already established show, which is no easy thing when it already has an established storyline, established fandom. It is the toughest thing that you can do as an actor when you're coming into a show that's undergoing a complete overhaul, and you have to figure out some way to make these characters relevant the way that the past ones did. I know this was hard for them, and we gave them no slack for it. So for them to do what they've done and come out the other side with some really gripping storylines and well developed, well rounded characters, I just have to applaud them all for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really loving Drusilla. Both that she's wicked, both that she's trying to find love and acceptance. And I really hope, I know they may not happen, but I really hope that that Giles Matthew comes back as a growing up Gideon, and that Gideon and Drusilla become true love, because I really think this will make Drusilla redemption, that she finds somebody who loves her, not only her mother, but somebody who will love her, and that would be awesome for me. And I'm very happy for these newbies, because this is right. Mm, it takes hardcore love and hardcore decision to enter an already established show. Because I love my old cast. I will always love my old cast, but I really like Andrew, Dania, Adeline, Gabriel, and Allison, really, and Rose and Makia, and Nathan too, and Tierra. And I hope to see more of them in the second half, because I really liking the newbies, just as I will always love the old ones from that we already grown in love for the past seasons. So I'm very excited for this new second half of season 7. Bring it on!
Okay, well, we already know, based on internet spoilers, that the premiere date for the spring back half of Once Upon a Time is going to be March 2nd, which is obviously a Friday. So we will be back, as usual, the very next day, March 3rd, with our brand new podcast for episode 11. If between now and then, if there is a succession of really juicy spoiler stuff, or if there's anything going on in Colin's life that's really important, like, some of his independent work that I think is stuff that we need to know, I may or may not do a podcast in between. We'll see what happens. But barring that, we love you guys. And we will see you guys after the Christmas break. Have a happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Have a happy New Year's. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. Whatever. Happy holidays, y'all. And we will see you guys in March in the new year.
Yeah, buddy. Party on, guys. Party on.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
And may the Force be with you.
Yep.
All you Star Wars fans.
I knew you were going to do that.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Merry Christmas. I love ya.